Happy Monday, everyone. I wonder how many of you managed to have a fun weekend. Maybe some of you even managed to have some social interaction with each other on FaceTime or Xbox or whatever it is you young people choose to get up to in your time off. Anyway, now the niceties are out the way, let's get down to business. Who's going to read our LO today? Wow, lots of hands. Let's ask Ellie. Yes, Ellie, beautifully read. And now, Ellie, tell us what that means. No? Fair enough. We'll come back to that later. First, I'm going to read you this paragraph. Gregory was wearing brown shorts and a blue t-shirt. He had a yellow hat on and brown shoes. The laces were undone. He hadn't met his grandparents before, and he was feeling nervous. He was really hot. He saw his grandparents waving to him, and they looked really nice. So, what do you think? Have I smashed it? No. Oh, what? I spent ages doing that. Oh, alright, Abby. No need to be rude. Jeez. Okay, so you guys didn't like it. I get it. Well, what did you like about it? Anything? What didn't you like about it? I want you to pause the video for a minute and talk to your parents, pets, and helpers. You can make a note of what you thought. Now, I also wrote another paragraph about Gregory. Would you like to hear that? Yes, that is the right answer, children. As he stepped out into the bright sunshine, Gregory turned his cap around to shade his chestnut brown eyes. He lifted his hand to shield his face as he scanned the assembled crowd for his welcoming party. Since he had only ever seen photographs of them, this made the task rather difficult. After a quick scan left and right, Gregory noticed an elderly couple standing side by side, waving and beaming happily in his direction. As she waved, the woman's loose-fitting flannel dress rippled and the polka-dot bag she wore on her shoulder threatened to go crashing to the floor. The man, meanwhile, was waving a little less enthusiastically, as if self-conscious, and after a moment his big, strong hand fell back down to his side. Gregory began to walk slowly and uncertainly over to them, almost tripping over his shoelaces as he did so. He recognised the kindness of her face from the photographs he had seen at home, and as he got closer, he saw strands of wispy white-grey hair poking out from below her hat. As he caught the scent of her flowery perfume, Gregory's heart began to beat quickly in his chest. It was suddenly real. He was about to meet his granny and grandpa. Ooh, now I can tell that was better from the hush in the room. What was the difference? How comes that one was so much better? And I know I ask this all the time, but what was the point of that paragraph? What was it there for? Okay, again, I'd like you to have a chat with your parents, pets, and helpers, or your neighbours, or your brand new snail if you're Erin Armitage, and make a note of your ideas. Now that you've had a chance to think about it, I'm going to move on. Yes, Isabel, there was a point to that, but we'll get to that later. Okay, take a look at this picture. How could you describe this person? What might you pick to describe? Well, there's not much to go on really, so you might end up with something like: the man had short, dark hair and was wearing a blue top with blue trousers. Now, I'd say that's a pretty boring description, wouldn't you? Thing is, if a description isn't detailed enough, the reader will end up with just a very simple 2D image of what you're describing. And we don't really want that. We want them to be able to picture the scene and the characters in detail, to feel like they're there in the story. Now, before we go on to the next slide, I want your parents, pets, and partners to look away. That's because you're going to describe the characters and the situation to them from the picture on the next slide. I want you to try and plant the image in their heads. Okay, I'm going to change slides in 3, 2, 1. Off you go. I think this should take about 5 minutes. Remember though, the focus is on the characters. Right, you should have all had a go at that now. If you haven't already, see if your parents, pets, and partners can picture your characters and the situation that they are in. Now, my version was the boy was wearing a bag on his shoulders and didn't want to let go of his mum because he was scared of school. But you know what? I still think we can do even better than that. Let's think about what it is that we want the reader to know, to help them picture our characters, and how we can give them clues to lead them to this image. This is called showing, not telling. We want the reader to know there is a boy and his mother. They're standing outside school. The boy is nervous. It's probably his first day at school. And what the boy and his mum look like. But, and this is the really important bit, we want them to have to find this out for themselves, rather than just by telling them. Again, this is showing, not telling. I'll give you an example. We want the reader to know that there is a boy and his mother. Instead of telling them though, we're going to show them. Listen. They stood side by side, his head level with her waist, the skin around her warm eyes wrinkled as she smiled encouragingly at him. Now, the first sentence tells us there is a male and a female, and the male is much smaller than the female. The second sentence tells us that she is older and that she cares about him. This is enough information for the reader to be able to work out that they are probably mother and son, or something similar. Okay, now that I've broken it down for you, I'd like you to have a go. Try and write a sentence or two which shows us there is a boy and his mother, but doesn't tell us. Right. Now I want you to have a go with a scene from Gregory Cool. My paragraph describes Gregory meeting his grandparents, but you can pick a different image. Remember though, this is character description, so pick an image which is going to help you to describe those characters and their situation. The first box is done for you if you choose to do the first image in the book. What you need to do, first draw a table like mine, then fill the left-hand side with what you want the reader to know about your character, and the right-hand side with how you will show and not tell it. Good luck, and I can't wait to see the results.